All right. Okay.
Mine's only like one
Well, I'm
day.
recording now, so this is how Snozzle puts on his makeup. If he can figure out how to put on his wig cap. All right. So first thing is I keep my hair out of my face, and I guess I describe.
Shh, he's talking.
Hey, y'all, cut it out. I'm trying to make a recording here. We're getting ready for our school shows today, so I use the Ben Nye Clown White. Sorry, programs. Ben Nye Clown White. What is this? Mayron's Color Cup Liner. No. Ben Nye Professional Clown Series Red, and it's almost gone. I've been using this for 20 years, 15 years maybe. So, and a couple extra things, some Q-tips, my mirror, oh, and my powder. Powder is in a sock. It's just regular Johnson & Johnson baby powder and a powder brush. So, to get started, scoop out about that much white, put it in your hand, and start rubbing. Warm it up. Warm it, and it'll start to be less viscous. How's that? You like that word, viscous?
Yes.
White everywhere. And just start putting it on. Get up in the hairline, around the eyes, eyebrows. Being white-faced, it's important that everything is covered up. Even my neck. Don't worry about getting on my shirt. It will wash out. This is not my costume shirt. Got my upper lip, ears, under the nose. I'm going to pull that part off of my nose, cut that out, so I can glue my clown nose on. Alright, so once you're covered completely, I'm going to cut that part out of my lip too, so I'm not worried about that. But I have big pores, so I have to be sure and rub it in to my cheeks. Her puffy little cheeks. I'm just kidding, y'all can talk, it's no big deal.
Just listening and
Okay,
Yeah.
so once I get everything covered, I have to pat it out to get all the streaks and all the fingerprints and all that stuff done. Make it nice and smooth. Hey, thank you. I don't know if you can tell, but that really smooths it out, makes it even. Sometimes I have to pay special attention right between my eyes because I'll miss that sometimes. Oh, over there. There we go.
No need to watch it. You can watch the video later.
Pat it out real good. And forget to get your other towel out of the bag.
Here, where is it?
I think it's in that. It may be actually in that one over there. Oh, yeah, that one. Thank you. Have an extra towel. So you can wipe all the excess off your hand.
Make sure you get credit. In the credit
Thank you,
package.
Steph. I mean, Sparks. Agent Sparks.
I don't have my secret
She
agent
just
card.
wants when you roll the credit that you put her in there.
Yeah. All right. Wipe the excess off the hands. Always cap your makeup after you're done with it so you don't get powder in there and set the top layer of it. So now I get my Q-tips. Some people use baby wipes. I'm not too, I don't know, they just don't work for me. I'm not as precise with baby wipes as I am with this. Sorry, I gotta do this in the mirror. This is called cutting out. It's where I make the shape of my mouth, and then I'll cut away from where I nose, where I'm going to glue my nose on.
Do you use clown spit for that?
I do use clown spit. Thank you, Patches. It's the best makeup remover in the world.
Now I get to be in the credits.
This is weird watching myself do this. I've never done this before. One side. So those are my pips, or the sides of the mouth. Right there. And my bottom lip.
So how your son's ribs doing?
So yeah, we went to the doctor Saturday, and he said nothing's broken.
All right.
He basically just, the cartilage is kind of separated from the bone, I guess.
So he's still gonna be able to do his physical for West Point?
The doctor said you can do whatever you can.
Whatever you can stand.
Yeah, whatever you can stand.
All right. Okay, so I have my mouth cut out. Mostly.
Is he just gonna try?
Oh yeah, yeah.
There we go.
Try to muscle through it.
It's not perfect, but
West, Navy's December is the final. Everything has to be turned in, which he has everything turned in.
generally when you do your mouth, you don't do the upper lip. The upper lip stays white, and then you color in the bottom lip and the pips. So now that I have my mouth shaped, and then I'll remove around my nose. Actually, I can use a baby wipe for this because it's not a whole lot of shaping to it.
But the Navy one, he's already done one CFA. He just didn't film it. West Point wants you to film it. If you're not cheating.
Yeah.
So, I just don't turn that one into the Navy.
I'm going to use my glue nose. I've figured out that my Red Nose Workshop nose is great when I'm not being a white face, but as a white face, the way it clips on instead of glued on, it scrapes the makeup away from my nose because it moves a lot more. So I've gone back to using my glue nose. So that would be this Pro Nose right here. I don't remember what model it is, but you come up with your own. So Pro Nose adhesive is what I'm using here. Does it? I wonder if that stays backwards on the video. Anyway, so I glue the inside of the nose because it's important to let that dry before you apply it. So allow a little time for your nose if you're gluing it on. Or there are other types of noses, string noses, all that stuff. Now I'm doing what's called a wet application, where I'm not powdering between each color, just because I've been doing this for so long. I don't take that extra time.
That's embarrassing. I bet
So
almost a mile I still have it.
take the red on my finger. Sorry, I gotta use my mirror again. Now this is my face. This is Snozzle. So I would hope that you wouldn't just copy my face, but this face works for me because I've spent years developing it. Develop your own face and figure out what works for you.
Like practicing with the window. That's how I practice.
You practice with a window? What'd you say?
It works for me,
The window worked for you? Oh,
because that's how I practice.
I get it. I see what you did there. Alright, I don't know if you can see, but I don't go all the way up to the white. I leave a little bit of space around the edges because I'm going to come back in with a liner brush and line this. So, but I try to get as close as I can. So there's the red. Now I will powder. Again, put the lid on your makeup. Clean the makeup off your hand before you proceed to the next step. Or the best you can. And powder. This is my powder sock. I'll bang it on my hand a little bit, get a good layer on the outside, and then hit the red first.
Inhale some.
And then I just start working my way out.
17 a day.
Oh gosh.
It's crazy. Had to do this. I know, that's crazy. It's mind blowing. Right now I have two of them.
So that's my first layer of powder,
We're turning 4 and 6.
just to get a good set on it before I line it. Brush it
Yeah,
off.
Your line's already blown. It's gonna format.
And then
We had our annual pumpkin carving last night with a bunch of our friends. And it's really funny. We've done it. This is the 8th year we've done it.
That's awesome.
And so.
now I take my liner brush and my Mayron color cup.
It's all of us just sitting on
Where's the
the
camera?
floor,
There it is.
carving pumpkins in And then last night, it's all of us sitting on
Thank
the
you,
floor
Priscilla
with our
Mooseberger,
kids carving pumpkins.
for all of your advice and your products.
People that weren't even a thought 8 years ago are now in the pictures.
Yeah.
Again, back to my mirror.
Wow.
I used to use the Mayron cream pencils, and Trisha Manuel from Priscilla Mooseburgers recommended the brush and the color cups. And
Now she's walking around the house telling us what to do every time she comes over.
I'm not sure if I just need more practice with it or if I was just used to using the pencils, but I may go back to the pencils. The tip with the pencils is if you dip them in ice water, let them sit in ice water for just a little bit before you get started. It kind of makes them a little harder
In heaven, there's no time. So it's just
and
flies
easier.
anymore.
In heaven, there's no time. What?
There's no time in it.
No.
To make thinner lines.
Before and after time.
Yeah, so
So
it never flies.
Time doesn't.
Whatever.
Time doesn't fly.
It's just.
Only we do. We get to fly. I think.
We are flying through time and space.
That's right.
I want wings.
I'm pretty sure you won't get wings. God wanted you to have wings, you have wings. Well, the real question is, you get a glorified body, what age is it?
46.
46.
No, wait,
I kind
47.
of like 27. Or 21, 22. I was in pretty good shape.
Go back to
Oh,
like
yeah, you'll never
25.
be that bad of shape.
Oh,
again.
sorry. I got out of the camera.
45, 46. I was in
Got
Michigan,
distracted.
It's not like everything didn't start breaking down yet, but it wasn't.
So I had my injuries, but
Steady period. Yeah.
but if you take away all those injuries, it's going to be injury
Yeah, it wouldn't matter. Yeah, so
Kind of like my look back in 20 years, 21, 27.
that's 21 when I hurt my back.
Yeah.
Before that would be good.
Yeah. Well, you don't have to worry
No,
about
don't
that.
worry, I won't get any.
Yeah. I had hair.
Now, obviously, I'm lining my eyes. Make them stand out a little bit.
Oh.
We were discussing, we found some old pictures of it, and we were discussing hair. We found some pictures of Will with hair.
Yeah. That was great, man.
But he started losing his hair at like 18,
Oh, really?
19, yeah.
You keep it short, it goes slower.
Yeah, okay. Well, the whole point of having hair is to be
No,
able
wait.
to style it.
He had really shaggy hair, and then it all just like started falling out.
So there's my eyes.
You know.
Now,
Elijah-
eyebrows.
What?
It's important that you look at your face when you're doing your eyebrows. And you look at the individual muscles,
Which
see
one's
how
that?
they
The
move.
second one.
You want to find those points
Elijah.
and accentuate those points so you can,
Yeah.
Elijah.
so your expression will be played out
Follow him?
over the audience.
He's Elijah.
So I found that these little spots right here,
He was walking through
right there, and right there
One point,
are really the anchor
bunch of
points
kids,
for
young
where
people
my
started making
eyebrows
fun of baldness.
best express themselves. So
And,
I
started
put
making fun of a prophet. So he
a
asked
dot
him to
right
kill him, and he did.
there.
He bear down and ate all 40 of them, killed all 40 of them.
and a dot right
Yeah, so don't make fun of all these.
there.
That's Especially if they're pockets.
Especially nonprofits. The bears might come in.
So you
and-
can
got
see-
that? You got that, Patches?
how they move.
About that.
Don't be making fun of me.
And then off of that, I make my eyebrow.
I'll
Well,
send a
I'm gonna
swarm,
spare you-
I'll send,
I'm
I'll send a
gonna spare
swarm
you
of bees
bees.
at you. Got them at my house.
Yeah, right. Like they're gonna leave your house and come down. Shh, Snozzle's making a video.
Snozzle's making faces at himself in the mirror, in the camera.
Those bees were active yesterday.
And
I don't understand how the bees and the wasps get along together.
They
There's
don't.
a wasp in our house last
Me?
night.
They don't, if the wasp tries to get into the nest.
So,
Oh.
I told you how to kill them.
so there are my eyebrows.
They were up there buzzing around together. I was like, I guess it didn't really bother me.
Somebody
Patches.
took a video. They got
Really?
a wasp.
Okay.
Tweezers.
So
They took a video.
that's all the lining that I do.
Actually, they glued
Did
it
my
to a
my
stick.
mouth, then my eyes. I do. I think it's called a live eye. So it only comes from the outside corner of my eye down to the pupil line, and then down from there. Used to, I'd put one down and then one up, but because when I smile, my eyes virtually disappear and become a straight line. It would look like a cartoon dead clown because it just have the cross on my eyes. So I changed that up,
One in our house that-
and I only do the one underneath, and I do a live eye, which is just that bottom outside half of the lower lid,
Yeah.
and then a couple of winks and my eyebrows.
Well, it gets crazy.
So that's pretty much it, other than the blush, just to give my cheeks some color because I have a big face. So there's a lot of white on here. So what I did was started putting just a little red blush. Now I don't get that out until the last because it's a powder blush and it gets everywhere. So I have to be careful with it. There it is.
But yeah, we did.
I'm trying to shoot them out of the air and then I try to see where they go. And
Sometimes you
Again,
can
it's
stun them
Mayron.
out of the
It's
air.
called Mayron cheek powder,
Stun them.
and it has its own brush. And I better get my mirror again.
Who's our sound guy today?
Just a little on the cheeks. Colby's gonna do our sound today.
It's Misha, isn't
It is, but Jeff had some things he had to do. And there's that. And that's Snozzle.